Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for our second series of the day between ThunderTalk Gaming and EBRO Gaming. Second representative of China taking on Latin America's sole proud heroes. As they come in, they don't have the best record, but for ThunderTalk Gaming, we already know that this result in the match does not change the outcomes. ThunderTalk Gaming will advance as the first seed. EBRO have already been disqualified, but we still get to see, Smacks, the kind of the journey and the continuous evolution of a roster that came in completely fresh and not the same as they entered and qualified through the WPL.
All throughout this group stage, Rafa, we have been on a journey, and that journey's name has been ThunderTalk Gaming. This team, as you said, came in with 3 completely new players and 2 completely new role swaps as Feibai and Z swapped their positions. They have had some trials and tribulations all throughout the group stage. They've won all of their series, but contrary to their Chinese team partners over in Dakun Gaming, they have lost a couple of the games that they've had in those series. So it's up to ThunderTalk to keep improving as a team and keep showing us more of this winning formula that we've seen from them, or maybe some other layers to it as well, and keep that undefeated streak going. They've already locked in for that semifinal.
Smacks. Looking at both of these two teams, I want to point out something. As we've already alluded to the back before, that ThunderTalk will advance, EBRO will not. Both of these teams, I still appreciate that they're coming in and taking this series just like they would any other series. Because for ThunderTalk, this is a chance for them to continue pushing their limits and seeing what strategies they can continue to refine as they get ready for the knockout stage. And for EBRO Gaming, this is all about pride. This is all coming out and saying, we are a team to be remembered, and even if we don't have the best score line exiting out of Group B, we still got here because we're the best in our region, and we're here to show them love and to show them that we are here to make them proud.
And at the very least, this is a scrim where you get to sit in these cool chairs in the cool stage with all the cool lights around you, which is always fun.
I mean, this is such a dope stage.
Oh, yeah. It's so beautiful. I love all of the different colors that come around the stage as well. We've had like some beautiful oranges for the sunset, and now it's more nighttime behind them, so we're getting the purples and everything. It's very pretty. But as we get into this draft, we can see the ThunderTalk prioritizing the Renekton, the tried and true alligator champion. I think I called him a crocodile earlier. He's one of those. I don't actually know which one is an alligator or crocodile, but regardless, he's good.
It depends, Max. Is this saltwater or freshwater?
See, I thought the alligator and crocodile, the difference was like where the teeth layout was.
I mean, so the snout does also change between crocodiles and alligators and the overall like kind of face shape, but usually the easiest way to remember the difference is alligators usually found in freshwater, crocodiles found in saltwater.
I did not know that. We're learning new things every day here at the Rising Cup. And we're also learning that ThunderTalk are going for this very early Kazakhs draft into the graves that he says is locked in.
So this is something that we saw from Dakun Gaming when they took on Rolster Y in yesterday's series, which was an absolute dynamite of a series, answered by our friends Patient Time and TJ. And when they found out quickly that ThunderTalk, or Dakun Gaming, when they were doing the Kazakhs matchup, even though Hueba, fantastic carry jungler, you don't really get the same ease of execution and results on a jungler like Kazakhs, who is really reliant on picks, catching members out in rotation, rather than straight up team fighting, because if everyone is bunched up, you don't get the isolation damage.
And it was very different for Dakun Gaming as well, when they played it just yesterday, because they are used to playing this funnel jungle strategy. It's not necessarily something that ThunderTalk have gone for very often. On the contrary, they typically have a lot of power that comes from their solo laner, specifically Z, who's been heralded continuously as one of the best players in the world. This draft is not about that at all. Z on the Twisted Fate now, as the final lock-in will be that utility pick machine alongside S12K on the Thresh, now locked in.
And I think this is still just showing the continuous evolution of ThunderTalk Gaming, how they can reliably put faith and resources into other members that are not Z. I know earlier at the top of the show, Rike was talking about, yo, Z is just straight up the best player here at Horizon Cup. And I know many of us would agree. Z has been looking pretty damn good. But when he first came into this tournament, it was all about, oh man, Z's gonna pop off in the Baron lane. And then we saw the roll, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess, well, what, can he play Assassins? And he pulled out Zed game one. I was like, oh crap, he can't play Zed. But then he starts playing things like Orianna and Twisted Fate. He's changing up the flow, Smacks. He's giving us different ways and styles, which just completely diversifies the palette and also increases the diversity and depth in his champion pool.
The fact that he's doing this also while having the ribbon banned against him every single game is providing this team with a bunch of different strategies, a bunch of different advantages in the draft. Now, we're going to have to see if they can make this variation of it work. It's a very pick-oriented composition. Every single champion on this squad wants to kill one at a time. You got the isolation damage of Kha'Zix, and the Void partner there for Kai'Sa wants to dive in alongside you, paired up with the stuns, the point-click stuns, I might add, of the Twisted Fate and the Renekton. The other side, that's going to be something that EBRO have to avoid and have to plan for. I'm sensing a lot of stasis, boot, and chance are going to come through on the squad.
Either that or even QSS could be a decent investment here, because if you dodge out on one crowd control, maybe you have enough time to flash away from the rest of the CC chain that comes in, because as you said it before, single target crowd control is highly stacked. On the side of ThunderTalk Gaming, you've got Gold Card, Death Sentence, Ruthless Predator. All three of those landed on top, and then if you're caught out in rotation, and then it's just easy pickings for Chris's Kha'Zix to just gobble you up and just become a scary, scary cockroach in the jungle. And you want to squash that if you are EBRO Gaming, which is why they have developed, or drafted, I should say, more traditional 5-on-5 team fighting comp.
Is that the type of bug that Kha'Zix is? Is he a cockroach? Do we have confirmation? I feel like he's more of a mantis.
You know, that does make sense. I just say cockroach because when you're looking from EBRO's perspective, cockroach is the thing that, like, you try to get rid of, and you throw bombs at it, you try to put it through nuclear warfare, and it still survives, and it just kind of exemplifies the raid boss he is. Mantises don't get the same reputation, although
now,
he does
that tells me that you haven't been in close quarters with a mantis, because those things are terrifying. I remember one time when I was a kid, I had one stuck in my hair.
Oh,
that was awful. And for EBRO, they have a mantis stuck in their hair for this game. They have to get it out. They got to get the raid, stop that one for themselves. Hopefully they can do that as we get a level 1 trade. Jastly taking most of the Kai'Sa passive. Plasma, not quite the pick on top, though.
Hey, Smacks, you say that I don't know how terrifying Mantis is. I took biology, and I learned how that goes for Mantises. I'm not going to even go into it, but if you know, you know. It is a very grim and bitter end for male praying mantises. It just... EBRO Gaming, though, trying to recover in this laning phase for the Dragon Lane duo. Both Kite and Hasli taking a lot of damage, whereas Azure maintaining a high HP.
For Azure on this Kai'Sa, you have a lot of laning power. Not quite sometimes as much as the Varus. You usually have slightly less range. He has a lot of poke potential, especially with this summon carry. But the way that S12K is combining the range of the Thresh with the range of the Kai'Sa really is working dividends for ThunderTalk. There is that Knight also. Knight super, super good.
I mean, Chris sees two juicy targets. Possibly. He's gonna try to jump in, flash, exhaust, looking for one more auto attack damage. The heal comes out from Kite, trying to keep them alive to the very bitter end. Hasli still has flash. EBRO Gaming only burned 3. Oh my god, but Azure! How did he do that?
Flash Void Seeker, baby! Azure with the long-range skill shot, committing everything to get first blood. Excellent stuff for ThunderTalk. On the other side, Z committing this gold card and have to run now, flashing over this wall. As he says, almost finds enough damage, but just barely, not quite enough.
Zeke still has both summoner spells, so he's not in danger from Chris, but as he says, That's a big crocodile. You don't have to deal about the bugs, but you still gotta worry about this crocodile, who did get the inner rotation right on over. Lost a couple minions for it, but great trade when you take down the jungler.
Flash did final kill. End up being doomsday for ESS. On the other side, we do get to see that Flash voice you get from Azura. I can't wait to watch this one because he was definitely very impressive. Chris sets up for this play as well by chunking out these members. He switches focus over to Hossein, making him quite low. And here it comes. You ready? Boom.
Wow. That's part of the Flash channel animation thing you were telling me earlier as well. Did you really how all the abilities can?
You do a lot with it.
Yeah.
Although I actually, now that I saw that happen, I don't think that's actually one of them. I'm pretty sure it would have landed without the flash. But
he just did it for style points.
It looked pretty cool for Azure. So
you know, I appreciate it. You know, even if it wasn't necessary, sometimes you gotta hit him with a little bit of a play. Yeah. You know. But now it does open up potentially a window for EBRO Gaming to punish. It's going to be a little difficult for Isis to interact with the bottom side of the map, though, considering he also burned his flash looking for a kill on the Z in the mid lane. Chris saying, hey, I'm kind of stronger than you at the moment, so... And I also have mid prio and top prio, so that means I can walk in the jungle, start taking camps away, and he says he can't do anything because Ache is pinned up against the tower right now trying to farm.
Even after Chris commits the jump over the wall, there's no real way for him to get out. He says, just like, well, he jumped. I can't do anything about that, bro. I don't have any means of success.
Yo, relax. Yo, relax. Tix had to burn his flash to get away from the very scary S12K Thresh, who was ready to burn both flash and ignite just to take down Tix. We saw some action over on the Baron side of the map, a flash from Ache as well. And even though they did not result in kill smacks, the pressure is being felt. Feibai is gonna walk into Ache, and he's still got a bug. Oh, but Ache, okay, he takes out Chris.
Ache, the turnaround is gigantic, and there's no threat of him getting killed anyway. So you can't just back away from this one. There's no more globals. He already popped that Destiny. He's going to be able to walk away for free. Oh, Destiny, it's mid. He's going to need too much, though.
There's a dragon over to EBRO Gaming, and because ThunderTalk already lost out on their jungler going for Ache, had it not been for the miraculous turnaround and surprise kill, that could have been a Rift Herald already picked up here, but Azure rotating on over to help Feibai. Also, Shockwave is huge though. S1 is gone. Chris can't take the Rift Herald because he needs the rest of his team to help him.
Not too bad for EBRO. Headbutt Pulverize is a very solid and, you know, well-historied way of getting the Orianna Shockwave through onto your team. Now Hossein playing bodyguard further into the river. He's isolated. He does not want to be there any further. EBRO walk away with that kill from before, alongside some turret damage in mid lane now. I think.
Z is just being a nuisance right now.
No,
this is actually Doomsday right now. Flash gold card, one more wild card, bam! That's how you do it.
Yeah. Kite needed to stay under that turret. There was no way that Z was going to be able to deal enough damage to him under there. He needed to wait for his team, but Kite getting antsy. He was trying to find an escape route and ended up being that the escape route leaded to death regardless. Z, Honey Fruit wants to stick around.
You know what that was like? It's like when you're in the alleyway, you're trying to get home late at night, and then you see some shady person in the bush ready to like take your money, and you're like, okay, just take everything. But the person actually just wants to kill you straight up. He takes.
Goodness.
I know we got really dark right there, but
grim. Also, I want to question: where are you living where there are bushes and mountains?
Utah's crazy, man. It's wild out in the streets of Salt Lake City. EBRO Gaming, Hossein having to pop the Unbreakable Will just to get out alive. Another 1v1 between Ache and Feibai, but he's flashing forward. He gets the guillotine. He feels confident. He knows his champion. The bleed isn't going to be enough. Gets enough of the cold to be healing. Ache will not be able to take him down. He doesn't have flash, but
oh no!
Oh, the pour coming in from Z. Can Hossein get in there? It's still not enough damage to take on Ache. He's still alive!
Man, that was so smart from Feibai using his Call of the Meek to get the heal off of the Krugs. He knew that if that camp was up, that was his only way to survive. Now ThunderTalk in the mid lane.
Hossein doesn't have Unbreakable Will, so he is more susceptible to damage. A couple more auto attacks. Azure is going to commit, and he just takes out the 1-2 with a beautiful let Kathy and Rain, the Dragon Lane duo of EBRO Gaming, go down in the blink of an eye.
No.
Teeks in a 1v1 against Fable still has Shockwave, but he's running low on mana. Whereas Fable, it's all about cooldowns, baby. It's all about Fury, so he doesn't care about burning a resource here. He's going to try to run him down, but Tix should have enough distance. Oh no, double slice and dice through the Scuttle Crab, and it forces the flash.
Really smart maneuvers from Feibai yet again. Oh my goodness, up in this top side. It is a pickup onto Azure. That's a shutdown over to Hostley. Azure, you had everything up, but you just way too far into the enemy grounds.
I am definitely down for EBRO Gaming continuously looking for response plays. No matter the stakes of the game, no matter the cost, they are not going down without a fight, Smacks. They are making sure that ThunderTalk, if you want to get through this series, you're going to have to put up a better fight.
A lot of damage on it.
You know,
told me red card, not red card, gold card. Getting my colors mixed up. And Teeks is getting his mixed up as well. He's on the gray screen.
I did say better fight, and as soon as I said that, I felt bad because I felt like I just cast first Teeks. It's like, bro, why you gotta say something? Why you gotta open the mouth? I was fine. I was chilling. I just had a crocodile, and then you just provoked Z to come to my lane.
The comedic timing of this is really valuable. Rocket Belt in. What a death sentence. They have enough damage underneath this turret. Doesn't quite look like it, but we're seeing the mechanics on this Thresh come to fruition for S12K. Very impressive.
Comeback move up. It's going to stop Save recall here. Hostley gets a knockup, though, onto S12K. The pump back, I don't know what they actually want. Chris secures the dragon, getting exhausted. Hostley, there's one beefy cow, but they're actually going for Isis. And that's the shotgun man going down. Ebu, or I should say Azure, just using the killer instinct to run down the rest of EBRO Gaming. They've already lost 2 by the wayside Smacks. Hostley finally pops that ultimate ability, making sure that he has the damage reduction to make it out alive. But ThunderTalk, they are taking command of the Rift, Smacks. And EBRO Gaming, despite some early answers on, this is where the lead is starting to grow immensely for ThunderTalk.
ThunderTalk is moving where they please. They're moving as a unit, and specifically Azure is really feeling himself in this game. He is going wherever he actually wants. He just dives in with that killer instinct and just does not care. He has all of this damage on Kaisa. He had that flash play from before. He's just going off in these team fights. Z, he's gonna get some zoning. Oh, okay. Everyone's trying to just push EBRO outside of this pit before they finish the Rift Herald. I like it.
There's like a lot of just what's the word for it? It's when, you know, you're getting ready for a fight, and then you have like the members like, you know, throwing insults at each other, or like, you know, screaming, or they're kind of shouting battle cries, and sometimes they make the moves. There's that one team from I don't know if it's from New Zealand or some part of that side of the globe, where they do like the haka, I think it's like haka dance, and they just start slapping their knees and everything. That's what ThunderTalk is doing. They're basically just like throwing out random rockets and just being like, we're not actually going for you, but we might. We just might. And what are you going to do about it?
They're just playing peekaboo with EBRO right now. Just opening up their eyes. Watch out.
I mean, it might just burn a flash just because EBRO Gamer, like, scared of it, right?
I'd be scared. EBRO's down quite heavily in this game. They have not been able to match the pressure of ThunderTalk. They've been matching some kills here and there. They've gotten a couple of these turrets, but the pressure game is a completely different ball game than what EBRO are playing right now. Z and Hostley just pass like ships in the night. It does force Z to use this flash.
EBRO Gaming starting to lose more structures to the hands of ThunderTalk as they take out the tier 2 turret Baron lane. That's a beautiful pick on the Teeks. Pops the stasis. Chain of Corruptions from Kite tries to dissuade the rest of ThunderTalk from pursuing any further. Oh, with the Proto Belt once again, but now Hostley tries to capitalize by looking for the headbutt, or I should say knock up there, pulverize. But the rest of ThunderTalk are able to just position beautifully. The rest of EBRO Gaming don't find any further picks from this counter engagement. And EBRO Gaming now down a few summoner spells, down a few ultimate abilities.
Oh, what a stop there from S12K. The death sentence to cancel out the Headlamp Pulverize. Now Z in his backline, he's completely out of mana, but he doesn't need mana when he's selected the gold card.
Look at Chris!
Diving into that back. Ache is in a 1v5. He can't get the dunk down. And now Azure flashing in to secure Chris that triple kill. Chris flashing as well. Can he get the Quadra? Not quite enough. He says survives. He says, get out of here. You're asking for too much. ThunderTalk already get way more than EBRO would have liked.
Chris just trying to girl boss a little too close to the sun right there. A little callback to Summoner Series moments where once the jungler starts feeling themselves a little too much, you know, they're trying to push themselves to the very, very close to their limits. Chris bit off a little bit more than he could chew, gives up the death over the Isis, but the overall advantage state for ThunderTalk remains the same. Very, very much ahead right now.
Z specifically is really testing his limits. He doesn't have a rapid fire cannon. He went for a hat instead. He's just going for burst on this Twisted Fate as we're getting another engage.
S12K has the lantern. Doesn't hit the death sentence, but it's okay.
Chris stole it! No way!
EBRO Gaming, they try to get something, just anything back from ThunderTalk Gaming, but as you already called out before, Chris with the objective steal, hops right back on in. S12K over the wall, just roping in Teeks with that death sentence into the play, setting up for a full team ace from ThunderTalk Gaming. It's not going to be game over quite yet, but they are very much in the driver's seat, Smacks, and they're very much in the process of closing game one out.
ThunderTalk Gaming is just a ruthless team, Rafa. They do not care if you are outside of that playoff contention. They are going to drive you over with the cement roller and just have a lot of fun with this game as well, Rafa. It feels a bit bad for EBRO, but you gotta respect that ThunderTalk are diving in for these assassination attempts, and they're making it look stylish.
EBRO Gaming trying to hold on to the very bitter end. ThunderTalk almost, what is this? 17,000 gold ahead?
Nice math. Thumbs up from me. That was great. Yeah, they're very fed at this point. ThunderTalk, they can move around and maybe take this Baron. They have a lot of pressure thanks to that mid lane inhibitor they got before. Super Minions crawling their way up, providing that sort of sixth member to the team and making sure that EBRO have to check themselves before they dive into this fight.
Rest of EBRO Gaming, a death sentence connects on the Ache, but it's a Proto Belt or Rocket Belt into Azure. Trying to catch him out with that apprehend. Z's. Oh, okay. Proactive flash from Hosley. They've eliminated Z. EBRO Gaming are still down a hell of an amount of gold. That is one member gone. Can they steal this Baron? They flash down it. Woo! Okay. Teeks steals the Baron away from ThunderTalk. I'm not sure how much of an advantage it will gain back for them, but damn, EBRO Gaming not going down with that fight.
It doesn't mean they win the game yet, but sure as hell, it looks cool. EBRO pushing into this mid lane, Rafa. They're still going. They're still taking structures. They're still engaging. Costly finds a head bump, Pulverize. Still have this minion wave. Can they get another inhibitor turn? Can they keep going?
It's 7 seconds. They could just get inhibitor turn. Snacks.
They did it.
EBRO Gaming just took up straight up 3 turrets, down 17,000 gold. However, this is a lot of a collapse. Z finds the Destiny on the Isis. S12K with the flash forward on the death sentence. Isis trying to make his escape out, but it's the style points from Z with the Proto Belt into the wild card that catches him out. And now ThunderTalk, in the wake of EBRO Gaming making a hell of a play to unlock the base, ThunderTalk says, we'll do you one better. We're just gonna end the game.
Uno reverse card is in full effect for ThunderTalk if they can break through the Baron minions. With this teleport, it's looking like they're going to secure for themselves, Rafa. ThunderTalk bringing themselves to 1-0 in this series against EBRO Gaming.
You know what? Hats off to EBRO Gaming. That was a hell of a play that they made. The proactivity from Hosley to immediately just go for Z and chain pick after pick, and dude, you can see it in their faces where Kite is just like, oh man, imagine if we had just if we had gotten one more kill off of that, because they had a 3-man advantage. Had they found one more pick, they could have potentially won the game, down 17,000 gold. But ThunderTalk, they're not a team to let an advantage like that go down the drain that easily.
It's good to know that EBRO are in high spirits here in this series. You can see the smiles on their faces there. You can see the smiles on our faces now.
Yeah,
Hey guys.
that was hella entertaining
Yeah.
just to see the last couple minutes. I mean, Smacks and I were like ready. We're like rolling up our sleeves, like, all right, you know,
Kicking
how are we gonna prepare for game 2?
Well done,
And
ThunderTalk.
then suddenly EBRO are just like, oh, what? It's like, what? Where'd that come from?
It gave me that moment where I was leaning back in my chair, and then I felt myself leaning a little too far, like, ooh, I gotta stabilize.
And you know what it actually was? It's, you know, it's that meme where the gamers are super relaxed. ThunderTalk Gaming, they're just like slumped back, you know, it's like, oh, they're not taking it seriously. 3 members gone, Baron stolen.
Lean forward in the chair, make sure.
Like, all right, time
You
to be
got the
serious.
stance.
Time to be serious. Let's close out this game once and for all. But man, I was hella entertained.
Yeah.
You know, and going into game 2, I think this gives things to both teams to think about. Not only to EBRO Gaming, giving them some confidence, saying, hey, you know what? Even if we're down a lot of gold, we can still make plays to come back in the game. And for ThunderTalk Gaming, hopefully it shows that like they can't just disrespect EBRO that easily. They're going to have to watch out for some comeback plays. But for more on the action that we just saw from game 1, we got some amigos over in Singapore. Gabby, háblame. What's up?
Yo, what's up? As we're still hanging out over here, and you are exactly right. You can't take away the respect on the EBRO name. They were putting up a fight there in this game, but ultimately it was ThunderTalk that came out victorious. And I'd say this was a pretty scrappy approach to the game from them. A lot of activity through and through.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams were not shy to take fights here, and I love that particularly coming from EBRO. With the back against the wall, playing the best team in your group, you're not shy to take every single fight that they present to you. Hachi as well, shout out to that guy. 1v2 takes down the jungler of TT. Not an easy task.
Ache always looking so good for the team, even in the losses, being such a consistent player. And if we're bringing things over towards the ThunderTalk side, I think there's a lot of consistency from them as well in the way that they're showing out. The bot lane, for instance, as you can see right there, continuing to make those plays.
Very aggressive, very dominant. SLK picking the trash, and he's making it work.
I mean, frankly, they're pretty nuts, right? But then again, that's kind of ThunderTalk in a nutshell. Every single lane can make things happen. It's really just a question of how they feel like playing at this point. Because looking back at this game, it's definitely a different take from how they usually go about things. A lot more mechanically inclined, and it kind of feels that way.
At Z on the TF here, a lot are talking about, hey, is this the best player that is here at the Wild Rift Rising
That's
Cup?
not TF. That's an assassin. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not Twisted Fate.
I mean, hey, Z's role swapped. He's making all these champions have different faces and play styles too. It's very much within his right to just show the stretch of possibilities within Wild Rift.
Yeah, Z is amazing. He's popping off a ton here as well. And I think that if you count this as playoffs per view, because TT, of course, they've already locked in their spot for the semifinals there. This is a great showing for TT. It's a change of pace, right? We see Z on a more utility-based carry, and his side laners prove that they can carry as well. And I want to point out a little interesting tidbit here as well. In day 1 of the Rising Cup, we saw both Chinese teams come in highly prioritizing that Z mid. Now suddenly we see both of them pivot and start prioritizing this Kha'Zix. What's going on in their scrims there? I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, I have those questions too. What is going on within the development of their scrims and kind of the drafts they're bringing to the table? As far as for the side of EBRO Gaming, it's not like there isn't value to this matchup. One, obviously the morale of being able to pull off a victory, but the experience that they are gaining here at the Rising Cup.
Exactly. I got a chance to talk to EBRO Gaming. I got to talk to their manager, and hearing about them from the horse's mouth itself, you know, they still have that pride as professionals. They feel bad when they lose a game, but they come in with a positive mindset to learn and to grow and have better experience. And I asked him, going into the future, how are you guys feeling? He said, we want to continue as a team, go back to our home region, dominate it, and then meet us here again for the next international.
Which means we can look forward to seeing all of them play together again. And I want to know what you have learned from this squad then and what we can look forward to in their future performances.
I love their energy. That's first and foremost, right? Looking at both camps right now, it seems to me like if you don't know the result of that game, you would have thought that EBRO won game 1. They're just so energetic, they're screaming, they're positive, they have the right mindset. And I love that coming from a team like that.
Yeah, even pulling off that Baron play, keeping things
huge.
interesting. And the series itself is still continuing on. More games to come. Let's head back on over to Digon and the gang.
Thank you very much, Gabby. The gang's all here, and it's time for our State Farm assist of the game. Rocky Zorro, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it crazy that even on a champion such as TF that isn't really very skill expressive, Z still finds ways to shine. Very decisive Destiny ults, the movement around the map, always being at the right place at the right time, and the Proto Belt gold cards that we saw later on in the game, they were just all such a pleasure to watch. I mean, you can see here, really good setup by the Renekton, slice and dicing through the minion wave to land the stun, follow up from Z, and they secure the kill.
Yeah, Tix definitely did not see that coming. And I really like this new look for ThunderTalk in general. You know, Z now playing for the team as well as yesterday, picking up Twisted Fate, picking up more of this utility champions just to set up for Chris as well in that Kha'Zix. And yeah, just as Oma has mentioned, maybe we're going to be expecting this spooky ghost hunting combo where you pick Rengar, Kha'Zix, pair it with a champion with a lot of these, what do you call this, global ults like the Galio and the Twisted Fate, and find picks here and there early game.
Well, with the team already kind of qualified, it feels appropriate for them to try things out and really push the boundaries, because we've seen them play through the top lane before. We obviously seen them play through Z. This time it felt like they're trying to play through Chris here, Rocky.
Yeah, with ThunderTalk guaranteeing first place, I'm certain they're looking ahead at this point towards the playoffs, and they have a few days break until the semifinals, which they earned a bye to. This is the perfect time for them to experiment with some new things, possibly expand some of the champion pools, which could very possibly be a big problem against some of the tougher teams. That's kind of what I see the Kha'Zix in this draft as, and I would like to see them do the same thing with Feibai a little here, because if he doesn't get the Renekton, it feels like he doesn't have a lot to fall back on besides the Diana. So yeah, an opportunity for ThunderTalk to make use of the leisure to have and prepare some solutions.
Well, ThunderTalk had control of most of that game till EBRO almost closed it back on out, but ThunderTalk still got that game number 1 under their belts. Will they be able to close it out? Let's find out with Rafa and Smax. Y'all, I hope y'all are ready for Chapter 2.
Chapter 2 begins here, Digon, Salamat, Kabigan. Just for you, buddy. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'll have to get my Tagalog checked up here from our Filipino friends. But for us here, advancing into the next and potential last chapter of this story for EBRO Gaming, they will be sending in a new player. Hosley is out, and we have a new support. His name is Dabu, and I'm not going to lie, Smax, we don't know anything about this guy because when we were reaching out to our friends over in Lorcito Salvaje Abierto and asking about the players, there is another player by the name of Buddha who was a sub-Baron laner, but, you know, we're not aware, or at least don't have any info on this other player in Dabu. So yeah. The only thing I can reason, even with Hosley's performance in finding those crucial picks and almost making a miracle comeback, I imagine that EBRO Gaming want to give this player a little bit of stage time since this is more than likely their last game.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, it is a bit sad. But you know, the good thing here is when you're subbing in Dabu, if he is the only substitute that you have, and he's the only substitute that you brought along to the Horizon Cup, you might as well make sure that he gets a game in. So I can appreciate that. I imagine that this is the same player though, because Buddha, Dabu seem like exactly the same name except swapped around, and at the same time he's swapping to support instead of Baron. So maybe it's symbolic of a role swap for him as we go over maybe to the support position.
That would make sense. Well, whether it's Buddha and then, you know, we just did a little oopsie in kind of our individual prep, or it's completely a different person, the end result is all the same. EBRO Gaming will be on the blue side. As now, first pick has arrived for the no Camille, no Riven, no Renekton available for first pick, and EBRO Gaming actually are going to prioritize this Orianna Fortix.
Orianna in the mid lane here, as you said, Fortix. He has a lot of teamfight power with this champion. He has a lot of laning power with this champion. And while it is rather bold to lock in your mid blind into a player like Z, who has a lot in the tank as far as counter picks that can be creative coming from the Baron lane roll into mid lane, you do have just a solid knowledge of what this champion is going to do in that late game. And that is something that we can certainly respect as we get over to the ThunderTalk side, where we got this Diana, we got the solution. Diana, on any other team, would probably be mid. It's probably going top, though.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine as well. Don't forget that this is actually a triple flex, because we've also seen Chris play Diana jungle as well in their match. I don't remember who played the Nunu jungle on the opposite side, but the idea was the same, that since Nunu is not going to really pressure you or invade you pre-level 5, you can kind of scale and get to the same point as well. EBG, we're going to go with the Darius and the Graves once again for Ache and Isis respectively, maintaining the same core. Oh man, all right, we got Rock Monster in the game here for ThunderTalk.
We do. If we assume that the Diana is going to the Baron lane, then this is probably a Malphite support. Yeah. So we're getting some engaged threat from
Yasuo?
S12. Okay, well.
This is a lot of knockup smacks. I feel like a Yasuo is coming out from Z on the last pick.
That's true. If Yasuo does come out, I have to warn everybody that Yasuo is currently at a 0-7 game score. Not the greatest. Although, one of our friends on the broadcasting side, Yuko, did point out that Yasuo's whole thing is the 0-10 power spike.
True.
So if we can get him to that point, if he can lose 3 more games, maybe that's the point where this champion does become broken.
EBRO Gaming respectfully acknowledging that there's a lot of knockups and a lot of engage, so Rakan and Zyre are a great way of not only disengaging, but also kind of mitigating all those threat potentials. And ThunderTalk, maybe they were thinking about the Yasuo, but now that they know that it's a lot harder to try and pile into a Featherstorm Shockwave combo, they're going to pivot, and now we're going to see Vayne more than likely for Azure, which does mean that this should be a Lucian for Z.
It definitely could be. There are a lot of ways that this could go, but that is my assumption as well, meaning that Diana is in jungle. Vayne, regardless of where it is going to be played in this draft and by who, it does provide you with a ton of late game damage. It feels like this is the marksman that you want to have on your team when it comes to late game, but it's going to be played by Feibai.
I knew it.
He is on.
I knew it. I was like, it would be wild if we just sent Vayne into the Baron lane just to really give Ache like just a real annoying time. Because if we think back to the early game, when Ache won the 1v2 against Chris and Feibai, they're like, you know what? This Darius needs to be put down. Enough is enough. We can't let EBRO Gaming have any of these comebacks and these surprise moments. And when you are playing Darius into a Vayne, if you can close the distance, then it's pretty easy to start all-inning her. However, the range advantage, it is so tricky, it is so difficult to actually close the distance in the first place.
To be fair, Malphite is also pretty annoying for Darius. It's just that Vayne is a different kind of annoying. You have to deal with the poke that's being sent onto you all the time. You have to deal with all of her movement. And if she does start kiting you out, that's something that a tank like Malphite could never possibly do to Darius, especially when you don't have access to the Unstoppable Force Ultimate. The fun thing about ThunderTalk composition is that they have both versions of annoying for the Darius. So realistically, they just have everything that Ache doesn't want to play against on this champion. And I really like that strategy because Ache, like you said, did have a lot of moments where it felt like he could come back into the game and make things scary for ThunderTalk.
As our friends over in Lodcito Salvaje said, Ache, most known for his Darius. And he's actually going for the Phase Rush Keystone this time around because he knows that movement speed is crucial to closing the distance and staying on top of Feibai once the distance has been, reached, basically. So,
you're saying that Ache is most known for his Darius. To me, he's most known for looking like a shredded beast. This guy is so intimidating with his presence.
I mean, he's lucky.
then
He's lucky in Olaf, basically.
And then you see him in the post game just smiling and laughing it up, and you're like, oh, this guy's a teddy bear.
Well, Ache is very person, and he's also very he's also an emotional person as well. As speaking with Aku, one of the commentators for Los Hitos Salvaje Abierto, Ache very much the emotional core of this team. He's feeling good and he's feeling confident. He inspires the rest of the team. However, if Ache ever does feel a little down, then that can affect the team. But I think, credit to EBRO Gaming, they have been in high spirits. They already know that they can't make it further into the tournament. This is their last series, potentially last game. And they're ending it out in a great mood. And so, props to them to still playing one hell of a lesson.
And Ache, that hug offer and invitation extends to you whenever you want. This is just a free coupon to redeem at any moment.
Hell.
A hug from me.
Un abrazo, hermano.
I'd love nothing more. He is playing in the mid lane for this game, which leaves Ace on this island up in the top. It leaves him to deal with Chris's just huge advances on this Diana. A lot of damage forcing him.
Knowing that, oh goodness. First blood from Z, walking Ache down. And I think Ache just wasn't expecting the amount of damage coming out from Z. Ignite Throne, Ache didn't burn barrier or the flash. And Z, I mean, Z is just really showing us that he can play any champion.
And he built for the lane in this game too. He has the ability power in this Axe replay. He has Summon Airy. He has Ignite. Everything that you could possibly want in this 1v1, and he is going for that full AP. This is likely the
oh god,
Malphite.
Oh man, this is gonna be quite the rocket of an explosion when Z just hits a thick 5-man unstoppable force. He's gonna build Ludens. He's gonna get Death Cap. He's gonna get Void Staff. Hell, he might even get the very rare and rarely seen Infinity Orb as well for the extra crit damage on the low.
You know what I want? I want Awakened Souls. I want more
stuff. Man, now we're really talking.
I know this might be a little traumatizing.
He's coming.
You did just lose the full AP Malphite today.
He's
on
coming.
Run!
Z with the unstoppable force. Run from it. Dread it. Destiny arrives all the same, and his name is Seed.
Rock solid! Oh, Ache is here. He's the next fighter. He has to flash out after a great bubble from S12K, and ThunderTalk continue their reign of terror on this bottom side of the map. Nobody can contest them. Z's Malphite just adding another champion to his vast repertoire of options he can go for. This is the kind of stuff that you want to have moving into that playoff structure where you just have all these options that you just have to think about when it comes to the bans that they're popping into Z, as pretty much every single team has spent at least one ban, usually more, into this single player on ThunderTalk.
Meanwhile, in Baron Lane, Feibai is having the time of his life farming up on Vayne, and he doesn't have to deal with the laning phase where traditionally Vayne doesn't have that great of time. He already has Blade of the Rune King. We have a potential skirmish over this Rift Herald. No unstoppable force available for the next few seconds, but Z is making the long walk over from the Dragon Lane. He's gonna have it available, but the Rift Herald's already been secured by Isis, and if EBRO can get out. Meanwhile, oh no! Kai! I'm sorry, bro, but this is the way of the Rock Monster. If he finds you, and he's got all that AP, you are going down, brother.
Z doesn't even need to use his flash there because Kai didn't have flash, didn't have Feather Storm. There's no feasible way to escape the Rock as he just trudges on over to the Dragon Lane. Feibai forced to flash out. He's in a 1v2 situation, does not want to get apprehended as he's making his way over to try to defend for this turret. Rift Herald means EBRO likely will secure this.
Oh, Ache wanted to go for the pick on the Fei, but S12K, he says, you know what? I realize that you are a marksman without support. Allow me to assist you, brother. Tied away from over the wall. Ensures that Ache cannot get any further, and a beautiful bubble right on top of it. He says, now has to fight, but he can't even get out of more than a couple shots because Fei takes him down.
Well played from S12K. I'm really enjoying the crowd control he's trying. But now for Chris, he's got some crowd control of his own. Unstoppable course, look at that green circle. It's coming up, Rafa. You gotta run. You gotta make sure you get out. Oh, he's not gonna do it, but he is still gonna get that kill on Pete.
Yo,
No, he is doing it! No! When you least expect it, Z dives in and takes you down, Rafa. 4 kills on the rock in the pit.
That was like the moment in a horror film where the killer just looks at you and he gives you the creepy smile, and in this case it was the question mark Pengu, where Dabu's like, am I alive? Did I make it out? And then
I think we should change Malphite's title from Rock to Rocket at this point when he's going for this build. So much ability power, so much burst is available, and every time that green circle on the right of your screen is full, you have to be ready for one member of EBRO, if not more, to be blown up to smithereens.
at this point the green button is not a green button but yet a red emergency button.
Oh,
it is a
it's gonna do it.
huge siren. Oh god. Oh wait, he actually had to force his ultimate over the wall. But we got more fighting in the mid lane. Fei just tumbling forward, taking out Kite and Dabu. And now Z was super low on HP, but the rest of EBRO Gaming were trying to single him out. Looks like Fei got a little too close to the base though.
Man.
Tix was able to pop him over the wall with a shockwave. Z, he's dancing in and out.
The
And
moves!
He's just got to walk up, seismic shard.
Barrier!
Okay.
Hold on.
Z's just going to run him down at this point.
Wait, that man's
Gets-
plate? Hold on. He's still alive.
He's fast. Avoid the turret shot. No, the minions. Takes, escort them home.
Woo!
He's made it. Round of applause for Ache making the great escape.
Nicely done. The rest of his team may not be so lucky as the team who's paid by so much assassination throughout on the single charge with that condemn against the wall, but here
Hey, yo.
engage. Dabu, the new player on the block with
no.
quickness, finds 2 with the knockups, but he left his AD behind. Kite gets exploded with the fireworks of Z. All the same, Rafa, EBRO find a couple of kills.
Z, once again, saw Kite, and even though the rest of his team in Isis and Dabu were destroying Chris, Z just looked at Kite and said, I'm sorry, little one. And then just sent Kite to a trip to the fountain once again. I mean, at this point, Z doesn't care about making the multi-man play. He cares about just stacking up the kills. He is 5-1-2 on this full AP now fight. We're getting the hat coming in soon as well.
It's coming. He's got 2 rods, and 2 rods put together become a hat. Because that's just how it works. We're seeing the seismic shards be enough to push all the members of EBRO Gaming away from this Rift Herald, claimed by ThunderTalk. They're going to take all this pressure and move around until Fei condemns that maybe.
Damn, he really wanted to hit that.
I don't think he actually did want to hit that.
You know
I think
what?
he wanted to condemn
That
him.
doesn't really fit my narrative, Smacks. I'm trying to save Fei's, you know, it happened. Now Z has unstoppable force available, protocol forward, and Kite is like, yep, you win. I can't win this game of chicken. You get my Feather Storm, and I'll walk away safely. And Z just walks away, smirking to himself. The dragon will be ThunderTalk.
In a game of rock, paper, scissors, EBRO are choosing, or forced to be unable to choose paper the entire time. It's just not in their repertoire. Only scissors for all 5 members. Nobody has a winning matchup against Z. Rake quite low. Members of EBRO are here.
Okay, but Dabu, feeling confident on the engage, is able to lock up a couple members, but Z with the 2-man knockup. Chris with the follow-up on the moonfall. ThunderTalk Gaming just destroy Ache and Isis.
That is Cloud Drake for EBRO. They get the prize that they were looking for to begin with. They get the steal away thanks to the smite as we watch this Axe replay. Drake set up by ThunderTalk. You can see they're just kind of playing with it from this point. They're just leashing this, daring the members of EBRO to dive in. I can't imagine that they really wanted to lose out on the Drake, but they got what they were looking for. Both teams really got what they were looking for. ThunderTalk, more kills, EBRO with the steal.
And you know, a lot of credit to S12K in this game so far, because there have been a lot of advantageous picks that EBRO Gaming has looked for, and it potentially could be better. But the tidal wave has always interrupted Z on the run. He really doesn't want to use the unstoppable force, but he finally does it. But he just walks right into more members of EBRO Gaming. That's a death down on the giant AP rock monster. He has assembled the death cap. He's on 2 Infinity Stones, Max. And he's working towards his 3rd right now. Oh no, Kite. Oh no, Kite.
That's Epic Storm. He is going to go down eventually. Feibai on a rampage on Vayne, claiming another soul. S12K 1v1 against Ises, falling for Feibai, flashing onto this Graves. That's a double kill for the marksman in the Baron lane as ThunderTalk lose out on their mid, but they've got this Rift Herald. They're going to break apart the mid structures of EBRO.
You know, Smacks, despite ThunderTalk being only up 6,000 gold, this looks more convincing than the game one where they were up like 17,000 gold, because EBRO Gaming still act. Oh, okay. They actually. Oh no!
Oh
Good night, EBRO Gaming. ThunderTalk found the dream, the 3-man knockup. They throw up the question marks. It's all in good fun, but ThunderTalk, they have earned their spot. They knew that they were coming in as one of the favorites to dominate Group B. We knew that the results would arrive just the same, Smacks, but man, oh man, don't they look damn good doing it.
Z's Malphite was just a treat to watch. And just as you said, we knew that they were going to be the 1st seed. We knew that EBRO were going to be the 5th seed. And they knew it as well. You can see it on their face. They're just like, I can't believe we just let that happen. I can't believe we just fell into the trap.
Deeks looked into the camera and he's just like, we just got started on by AP Malphite, man. That's how good they are. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you just gotta respect it. They know. You just see there's like, well, we just had that happen.
Yeah.
It's AP Malphite.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Now here comes the most important part. ThunderTalk Gaming getting ready for the selfie shot. So we got the normal. See the man, the second to the left? That is the face of a cold-blooded killer.
That's Z right there.
You would never suspect it. He looks so sweet and innocent, but his thumbs have taken the lives of many virtual characters in the past 5 days. He is the most unexpected, like, just, I don't even know. The words do not do justice of how fierce this player is, man.
Well played for Z and the rest of the ThunderTalk crew as they continue the reign of terror for both Chinese teams, matching that of their partners in Dakun Gaming. They will both be undefeated in series score moving into the playoff race, both claiming their spots in the semifinals. And I mean, if that one's any indication, ThunderTalk are looking scary for whoever makes their way up to match them.
Chinese teams are just built different this tournament, Smacks.
Guess so.
Horizon Cup have definitely shown us that Dakun Gaming and ThunderTalk Gaming, they are the teams to beat going into the knockout stage. We do have one more match that does determine our last seed from Group A, and then of course one last match to show out the roses for both Tribe Gaming and for KT Roaster. But TSM versus SBTC will be coming up next in a win or go home banger. When we come back, it will be that match. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
on me. Handshake, one of a kind, homie. I be trying to vibe on the wave. I'ma be me, vibe on the wave. Look.
It's invisible, but it's always with you. It's the defender of your decisions, the bodyguard of your buffs, the guardian of your greatness on the Rift. It's the Cisco Network, powering every epic moment at the Horizon Cup, so you can go wild on the Rift.
I woke up to the morning sky first. Baby blue, just like we rehearsed.